read young adult every weekend in January. Good times! I'm on a quest to catch up on all the YA reading I'm behind on, and here is my progress for January. The Raven Boys, the first book in the Raven Cycle, a paranormal fantasy series by Maggie Stiefvater. I'd already read another one of her books, Shiver, which was meh. But everyone told me I had to read this book because it was so much better. And oh my god, was this book trippy, but in the best possible way. It's about Blue Sergeant of the Southern Clairvoyant Sergeants and the group of boys from the local hoity-toity all-boys school whose fate her future is bound up with. This book is so unique and engaging and fascinating and a whole bunch more adjectives. I immediately put a hold on the second book as soon as I finished the first. You must read this book. Scarlet, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles sci-fi young adult series by Marissa Meyer. I have been devouring these books in preparation for the third book, Crest, coming out. Anyway, back to Scarlet. I couldn't imagine the second book being anywhere near as amazing as the first book, Cinder, but yeah, it was. The B storyline continues to be about Cinder. Love the addition of the character of Carswell Thorne, by the way. He's a hoot and very well written. Anyway, the A storyline in this book is about Scarlet and a street fighter named Wolf. Swoon. If you're not already reading the series, do so this very minute. Shadow Kiss, the third book in the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. I loved the first book in the series and solidly liked the second, though I found it much slower paced and more pleasant than mind-blowing. So I was certainly not prepared to have my mind blown by the third book, but now I'm pretty sure I'm still trying to recover all the missing pieces of my mind that I lost when I finished this book. I mean, oh my god, I cried so hard at this book. It tore out my heart in the most brilliant, best possible way. Obsidian, the first book in the Lux series, paranormal young adult books by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's about a girl who moves to West Virginia and her totally hot neighbors who may not be all they seem. The sexual tension between the leads was sizzling for sure. At parts, credulity is stretched a tad bit. I'm not going to tell you anything. Okay, now that you've figured out this one thing, I'm going to tell you all the secrets of my people. Second, a little life lesson here. If the bad guy is threatening to kill you if you don't tell him the location to something, and you know that rescue is only a few minutes away, you do not, I repeat, you do not go all noble going, I won't tell you, never, ever, ever. No, you lie. You go, oh, sure, that's way over there. And you bought yourself 30 extra minutes or so while said bad guy has someone go check it out. Basic survival skills here, people. Seriously. But heck, neither of these are unusual tropes in books, and it was a fun, frothy read. So gonna go with I liked this book. Shadow and Bone, the first in the Grisha YA fantasy series by Leigh Bardugo, which is about two orphans, the Grisha, which is an elite magical group, and the Darkling. Oh, the Darkling. This book was good. It was sweet, engaging, and I'm very much looking forward to reading the next one, which I actually just checked out from the library. Rilla of Ingleside, the 8th book in the Anna Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. This was my reread this month. I'd read the first 3 books in the series, then for some reason skipped to the 8th book as a teen. And well, this book is about practically nothing that I remember it being about. My teenage mind got stuck on the war baby and the love story. Now as an adult, I realized that the love story is a minuscule part of the story. It's mostly a play-by-play of World War I narrated by the inhabitants of a small Canadian town. It is a fascinating look at the war, especially as we nowadays know so much more about World War II than World War I. So I liked it, but for entirely different reasons than I had as a teen. At the same time I was reading a book about World War I, I was simultaneously reading a book about World War II, which was kinda an interesting comparative experience. And that book was The Book Thief. Yes, everyone, I have finally finished it. I read this thing so slowly. As I said, I read World War II books like this, just waiting for the sad to happen. And I'll be frank, I enjoyed the first 3/4 of this book, but in an, oh, this is interesting, it's about kids growing up in a horrific historical experience, but still, well, acting like kids. And it's all about the escapades they get into. And then you get to the ending, and you realize that the entire book has just been a slow burn prologue, setting up one of the most soaring, heart-wrenchingly perfect endings you've ever read. I mean, the whole thing is building up to this swelling, almost terrifyingly beautiful ending. So read the book, read it all the way to the end. You will not regret it. So I read a total of 27 books in January for 11% of my 250 book goal for this year. That puts me 6 books ahead of schedule. I read a lot when I'm sick. My current reread is The Giver. I don't actually remember anything about it from when I read it before, but dang, it is really good so far. I'm reading Beautiful Creatures. It has yet to grab me, but there's still time. I am still making my way through 1Q84. Finally made it through book 1. So I feel good about that. I'm also making decent progress through Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, having a little bit of a hard time getting into this one. My nonfiction book that I'm reading right now is the Steve Jobs biography. He was something else. All right, talk to me about these books.